Now, the National League Division Series on NBC. Three days ago, Todd Pratt, who spent much of the 90s in the minors, delivered the biggest hit of the 90s for the New York Mets. Their improbable October run continued. A victory shower where barely a week before, it had seemed their hopes were drowned. As September ended, it looked as if their season had as well, thanks to Chipper Jones and the Braves, losing 5 of their last 6 meetings, swept off their feet in Atlanta. The Braves, a postseason perennial, would like to return to the Fall Classic, especially at the Mets' expense. There are many ways to describe these teams' feelings about each other. Fondness is not among them, but that matters less than Atlanta's pitching and the presence of the odds-on MVP, Chipper Jones. But starting tonight, the Mets' earlier failures don't count. Starting tonight, the slate is clean. Starting tonight, the Mets and Braves go at it again. Game 1, next.
The Sun America NBC pregame show. The 1999 National League Championship Series. Tonight, it's Game 1. The New York Mets versus the Atlanta Braves.
It rained rather heavily just a short time ago in Atlanta, but it has stopped. The tarp has been removed. We're ready to play baseball at Turner Field. The Braves will go with 4-time Cy Young Award winner Greg Maddux, 19-9 in 1999. Masato Yoshi, right-hander, 12-8, will oppose him for the Mets. Welcome to Game 1 of the NLCS from Atlanta with Joe Morgan. I'm Bob Costas. Joe, all the talk leading up to this series, a much-anticipated series, has included not just the usual speculation about Mike Piazza, who will, by the way, play. His sore left thumb has responded to treatment. He'll bat cleanup and start tonight. Not the usual speculation about the relative strengths of the teams on the mound, at the plate, in the field, but lots of talk about bad blood between the Braves and the Mets. What do you make of it?
Well, two people have clearly put themselves in the sights of the other team. First, Chipper Jones destroyed the Mets here by hitting 4 home runs in a 3-game sweep, and then he went to New York, and they won the last game, and he thought they were dead, and he said, now all the Mets fans can go home and put on their Yankee stuff. That did not make the Mets happy or their fans. And then Bobby Valentine fired back. He said, they do not respect us. He said, they feel like they can beat us anytime they want. They said, Atlanta's going to have to be playing against some ghosts because we have come back. So these two guys have really put themselves in the spotlight. Bobby Valentine's going to have to do a good job managing, and Chipper Jones is going to have to continue to swing that hot bat.
Well, let's hear from the managers, beginning with Bobby Cox, who is with our Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. I'm now joined by the manager of the Braves, Bobby Cox. Bobby, there have been many words exchanged between Bobby Valentine, the manager of the Mets, and Chipper Jones and some of the other guys. What do you make of all this talk?
I haven't read any of it, Jim, so I really don't know. We're here to play a baseball game against 2 really good ball clubs. So
Certainly you've heard of it, though.
A little bit, not much, to be honest with you. I don't pay a lot of attention to a lot of stuff that goes away from this ballpark. You know, the only thing I'm worried about is what goes on in our dugout. So, you know, we're here to play baseball, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Is there a basic dislike, for lack of a better term, between the Mets and the Braves?
I don't think any. I don't think there's any problem there. They've got a real class act ball club, I think. A lot of good guys in that ball club, and certainly take them all over here. They don't have a guy on there I wouldn't take.
This is a very relaxed group. I saw where your boss, Ted Turner, walked by to you, and he said, hey, I can't wait to go quail hunting. It's got to be pretty good to have a boss who seemingly has no concerns before a big game like this.
I think the reason Ted said that is every year annually, if we make the playoffs, we get to go quail hunting at one of his ranches. So John Sherholtz and I have been fortunate enough to go down there and hunt with Ted, and it is a lot of fun. We do it in January, first week in January or so. So, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Final thought, how much pressure is there on the Braves to be solidified as the team of the 90s to go on and win this series and onto a World Series?
Well, that's another thing I don't pay a lot of attention to, Jim. You know, this thing is year to year, to be honest with you, and we will, as soon as all this is over with, it's day to day, we'll start worrying about next year, and, you know, the historians can write down anything they want about the organization then.
Bobby, thank you. Best of luck to you. All right, and with that, we now welcome Craig Sager from Turner Sports with us throughout the rest of the playoffs in the World Series.
Well, Bobby, the last time you saw the Braves, Chipper Jones basically told your fans to get out the Yankee gear because the Mets season was through. What effect did that have on you guys?
Probably none, but it might have a little effect on our fans. You know, we're here to play baseball, not talk about it or, you know, think about it, just play it.
But you personally, did you take it against yourself or the team?
I didn't really hear it until about a week later, and we were already in the playoffs at that time, so that's kind of cool. I you know, was reminded of it when we won the wild card or maybe won that one-game playoff, and it kind of was there.
The scouting report on Chipper is don't give him fastballs across the middle of the plate. Yet you guys did that a lot during the last series. He had 7 home runs during the regular season against you. How do you pitch him tonight?
Well, I dare say, don't give anybody who's a major league player a fastball down the middle of the plate, and Chipper does particular damage with it. You know, we have to pitch everybody tough in their lineup. They scored almost 900 runs. They're a bunch of great players, and Chipper's even a little better than most. Make good pitches, change speeds, work it in and out, throw your breaking ball when you're behind in count, bust them inside. Do all the things that are prerequisite to be in a major league pitcher, and we have some of them.
After losing 9 out of 12 during the regular season, do you have to change the mental approach with your team for tonight?
Boy, if I could have, I would have changed it before. I think our mental approach is really good. We've won 100 games, and we're on an upswing.
All right, thanks a lot. Now back to you, Bob.
Craig, thank you. And before we break for a commercial here, a story not from baseball, but one concerning one of the greatest figures in the history of sports. Wilt Chamberlain died today. A giant, both literally and figuratively. The Big Dipper was to basketball, at least statistically, what Ruth was to baseball, Gretzky to hockey. He once scored 100 points in a single NBA game. Another time he pulled in 55 rebounds against Bill Russell, no less. And in 1962, he averaged 50 points a game. With one exception, 1967, Wilt's teams couldn't beat Russell's Celtics. That led to the oversimplified conclusion that Wilt, for all his gifts, wasn't a winner. But with the passage of time, Chamberlain's accomplishments and his place in the history and mythology of the sport loom large. Somebody once said, nobody ever roots for Goliath, but Wilt Chamberlain's place in history is secure. He was 63. After this break, the starting lineups and the first pitch, Game 1 of the NLCS from Atlanta.
Let's launch it, Slim.
We talked about this all week. We got to stick with the game plan. We got to run the ball.
James says the max protect. Outright, fox right, hound right, near right, zip, 989.
Who's James?
Use your Visa card and you could win a once-in-a-lifetime NFL fantasy. Play flag football with the pros. Go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Be in a Super Bowl halftime show. Or roam the sidelines before a real game. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Together we've celebrated birthdays and opening days. Good efforts and little losses. Moments that live once and forever. But what we really celebrated is time together. Now McDonald's salutes the year-long Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration, where new memories are yet to come. Commemorate this momentous event at McDonald's with 4 special edition glasses. Where can you start celebrating the millennium? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Thursday on Frasier, there's a new woman in the Crane Boys' lives with a charm all her own.
I won't be already. Did you have a good walk?
Okay. Then, did Henry's cold kill the world's most famous children's author?
If you hadn't let him get so near you, he wouldn't have died from your bacteria.
Start raving mad after Frasier, NBC Thursday.
Coming up tonight on 6 News Nightcast, $287 million. That's how much the Charlotte-Mecklenburg School Board says it needs to comply with a recent court order.
But will the county commissioners delay a vote on the funding request again this week?
Plus, rain returns to the area overnight. We'll talk about how much we're expecting with your SkyMax forecast.
And good news in the world of medicine. A new drug could fight the bone weakening of osteoporosis. We'll tell you more.
Also, Alabama's lottery vote. We'll have an update after the game.
Getting legendary capability doesn't mean spending everything you have. In fact, lease a 2-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee Sport for $299 a month with 0 down and $299 due at signing, and you may even have a little change left over. Now get all this at no extra charge.
Jeep, official vehicles of the Carolina Panthers.
drummer. See the friendly Carolina Dodge dealer near you for the official vehicles of the Carolina Panthers.
No jacket required. No reservations necessary. No membership needed. In a place with no boundaries, with the best SUV lineup on the planet. Your Ford Outfitters. Right now, see your Carolina Ford dealer and get 3.9 financing on Explorer and Expedition. And check out the new king of SUVs, the all-new Excursion. Now at your Carolina Ford dealer. Driving the Carolinas.
SkyMax Doppler. Only on today's 6 News.
A short while ago at Turner Field, Andres Galarraga, a big part of the Braves the past couple of years, sidelined this season by cancer. He's responded well to treatments. He donned his uniform. He'll actually be in uniform on the bench. And he threw out the ceremonial first pitch. He's expected to be back for the 2000 season. He's with our Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. It was a very stirring moment just a few moments ago. Andres, how are you feeling and what's the prognosis?
Well, I feel very good right now, and thank you, God, for giving me right now a uniform. They're doing another cascade today, and I'm really positive they're burning more strong right now, and I'm kind of happy to be in uniform right now with the team.
You've come back and you've been with the team the past 5 weeks. How have you been able to help the guys on the bench, and what exactly is your role, and how do you try and fit in while you can't play?
Well, as soon as I put in my uniform, I'm just, try to be happy to enjoy the team, to be what I like to be in uniform. And, I try to help in Eddie, Andrews, at least to what they're doing wrong, helping Don Bello, at least like another coach. And I also, pulling for those guys to keep it going all the way to the World Series.
Well, it's great to see everybody's happy you're feeling well, and we look forward to seeing you play next year, Andre.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, let's send it across the way to the Mets dugout and Craig Sager.
Well, thanks, Jim. The last time we saw Todd Pratt, he had just hit a dramatic 10th-inning home run to send the Mets in the National League Championship Series. For a guy that was out of baseball 3 years ago working at a pizza parlor, how do you respond to all the attention and the dramatic home run you hit?
It's quite humbling. I was just happy the team was able to advance, and, now it's time to put up a shutout.
Well, tonight you're on the bench again. Mike Piazza is back. You've worked with him the last couple of days in batting practice. How will he be effective with a sore thumb tonight?
He says he feels great. The cortisone shot now is working. All the inflammation's down in his thumb, and yesterday he was taking BP out here and hitting home runs after home runs, so he's ready to go.
Speaking of home runs, how many times do you watch the replay?
As much as I can. It's just an incredible feeling.
What about some of the people that may have called you, congratulating you, those that stuck by you all those years?
Oh, yeah. I've had many phone calls, a lot of emails. I'm just thanks for the support, and, I'm just happy for the New York Mets.
How disappointed are you not in the lineup tonight?
Not at all. Mike's our man. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here, and, I'm looking for him to lead us again.
And if it wasn't for you, the Mets wouldn't be here either. Congratulations on that great series.
All right, thanks a lot.
Let's go back to Bob and Joe.